Hi, in this video we're going to talk all about the El Paso job market. Hi, my name is John Peña. I'm a real estate agent in El Paso, and this channel is everything eat, sleep, work, play El Paso. If that's the kind of information that you're looking for, please consider subscribing to the channel, give the video a like, click that bell if you'd like to be notified when new videos come out, which is at least every Saturday morning. And in this video, I've had a lot of people ask me continuously, what is the job market like in El Paso? And so I wanted to kind of highlight some of our top employers. I've mentioned this before, but we've got a new Amazon fulfillment center that's currently being built, so I was able to capture a little bit of footage about that. Healthcare is pretty good here, construction is pretty good, and before I get into the details of it, I can just kind of give you the in a nutshell, in my humble opinion. And in my opinion, essentially, the job market for unskilled labor, for unskilled workers, is pretty challenging. I'm going to be honest with you, because there's a lot of competition in that market, and so you're against a lot of folks who are competing for some of those unskilled jobs, whether that's fast food or service industry, retail, things like that. On top of that, the minimum wage here is $7.25, which isn't great, right? And so since there's so much competition for those minimum wage jobs, there's not a lot of opportunity really, to find an unskilled job and, get something a little bit better than minimum wage. Now, on the other hand, if you're a skilled worker, then the job market is pretty good. And I have some statistics to back that up from, I think, a reputable website, which I'm going to share with you. So we've got plenty of, like I said, healthcare here, construction. We actually have a refining oil industry employer here. There's a lot of construction happening. I mean, El Paso is growing. I always like to say it's like an up and coming place. And so if a place is up and coming, you need to build up that infrastructure so that, the potential can be reached, so to speak. So I'm going to jump into it a little bit. I've got some footage that kind of shows some of the different employers, got some stats to share with you. And without further ado, let's jump into it. So this first slide is from bestplaces.net. This is current for 2020. The reason that I've got Las Vegas in there is just happenstance. Quite honestly, I just picked someplace kind of over here in the general ballpark of proximity. And so now this first stat, current unemployment, I'm not going to put a lot of weight on this one because this is November 2020, and with COVID, unemployment numbers are all over the place. So I cannot imagine that these numbers are all that accurate, but they at least give us an idea of what we're looking at. So I was going to concentrate more on these other numbers. So future job growth, we're a little bit ahead of the national average. Las Vegas is doing a little bit better than us there. Recent job growth, again, we're a little bit better than the national average. Las Vegas is doing almost twice as well. But now this is where I think it starts to get interesting. So 3-year job growth, definitely doing better than the national average. Las Vegas is better than us. 5-year job growth, and now this, seems to imply that we've dipped a little bit. Looks like Las Vegas is really doing great. And then this is the one that I thought was pretty interesting. And again, this is all, speculation, so who's to say how this plays out. But 10-year job growth is kind of looking kind of down the line. I like to, like I said, you guys know, I like to say that El Paso is up and coming for a number of reasons, but 10-year job growth is looking great for us. Significantly, almost 3 times better than the national average, and certainly better than Las Vegas is at that point. So, this seems to imply that in 10 years, Vegas is going to start kind of going down, whereas our 3, 5, 10-year numbers show a trend of exponential growth. So like I said, we can only put so much weight on these types of things, but I thought it was a nice slide at least to share with you about maybe where our projected growth is going. We've got an Amazon fulfillment center that is being constructed currently on the east side. Operational next year, over 700 new full-time jobs, some people relocating here to work there. Industry-leading pay, comprehensive benefits starting from day one. It's expected to give an economic boost to the entire borderland. Was selected because of El Paso's strategic location and proximity to numerous states and 2 countries. And according to the mayor, we are the largest binational, bicultural, bilingual workforce in the Western Hemisphere. So starting salary there is going to be $15 an hour. It's going to include medical, vision, dental, a 401k matching program, 20 weeks of paid maternal and parental leave, among other things. So everybody is, at least I think, I guess I shouldn't speak for everybody, but I'm excited for our Amazon fulfillment center. A number of our top employers in El Paso are in the healthcare industry, including Las Palmas Medical Centers, the University Medical Centers, Caprock Home Health Services, El Paso Day Surgery. We have a number of pretty nice hospitals, Providence. I believe there's going to be a clip right here of Texas Tech Physicians. With UTEP, there are plenty of healthcare education opportunities. We have another medical institute for education. My wife is a nurse. She actually works in kidney dialysis management, and she's always raving about the opportunities for healthcare workers here. We have a number of other employers from corporations. I was looking on the web to see some of our top employers, which included Western Refining, Fred Loya Insurance, Datamark, Tecma Group, Helen of Troy. There's going to be, actually this campus right here is over on the west side. This is a Helen of Troy campus that is pretty nice. And additionally, Ready One Industries, Hunt Companies. And so there's like I said, I think this really does support my kind of idea that the workforce for skilled labor is pretty good. Unfortunately, the opportunities for unskilled jobs is a bit more challenging, like I said, simply because you're competing with so many other people who are, quite honestly, more than happy to work for minimum wage. So, like I said, that landscape is pretty competitive, but as far as corporations, some industry, some warehouse, data, things like that, I think we're still doing pretty good for ourselves. Education is also a pretty big employment opportunity for folks. This is the University of Texas, El Paso. Obviously, I've talked a lot about our schools. There's a lot of them to serve all of the students here. And so also we have the El Paso Community Colleges, which also employ a ton of educators and support staff. And finally, I've mentioned this before, but construction still is a very viable industry here if you're in that type of work, from new schools like this right here to, downtown. We have a couple of beautiful new hotels that have been renovated, and so construction is definitely a good gig here as well. That wraps up the job market, and then just for fun, I was over by this border area. You can see up by the area where I said the Rio Grande becomes the border, and I'm always talking about how crazy this border area is. So I think I'm pretty much exactly where that arrow is, and you can see the Rio Grande is directly below me there. And now as I pan to the left, the border wall is running straight up that mountain, and to the left of that wall is Mexico. And now to the right of the wall, I thought it was New Mexico, but when I was there, but it turns out I was wrong, and that is actually Texas that we're looking at there. So in front of the Rio Grande and where I'm standing, that's all Texas. But a gentleman who was working there said if you go up to the very top of that wall, there's a monument, and at that point, all three, the two states and the other countries intersect. So Mexico, New Mexico, and Texas. So thought it was just kind of a fun area to kind of give you an idea. I'm always trying to talk about the map and helping you get a better idea of what's where. I liked it in this this clip there. There was a couple fish swimming in the river. So if you thought you couldn't go fishing in El Paso, I guess you're wrong. So thanks so much, everybody. Reach out with any questions or concern. Have a great day.